What is going on? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Blunderbuss79, and you see the file on the intro, man. I told y'all 2 weeks ago in the live stream. Actually, I think it might have been like 3 or 4 weeks ago. But I told y'all at the end of a live stream, we are getting that man ape that witnessed the power of the Jabari firsthand. Finally, he is showing up in MFF after 4 long years, more than since the Black Panther first movie came out. But we'll get to that in a minute. First, let's go ahead and dive into these characters that we can actually do some checking out on. So first up is Shuri, starting out with her tier 2 passive. She has the 45% supervillain and 35% supervillain attack and damage respectively. And also on her tier 2 passive, she has the 30% ignore dodge. That makes her support comparable to Shuri, so as soon as she gets her tier 3, she's going to be rivaling Shuri as a support type if she keeps this in her kit. Her leadership is nothing to speak of. It's only a 6% all attack. She does have nothing on the first skill. She has a stun right here on the second, so that'll make her good for ABX, maybe a little bit of ABL, but it's mostly fracture, I think, over there now, along with a few other skill effects. On her third skill, she has the 15% frenzy buff for attack, defense, and speed, along with the 70% damage reduction, which is really nice if she gets a heal to go along with that. May make her viable for PvP with all of that damage reduction if they give her some more meta skills, something like an iframe ignore or something like that. She doesn't have any damage accumulation in her kit. She does have the stun here on the 4th skill and a stun on the 5th skill with the 100% all damage immunity for 7 seconds on a 16-second cooldown. And her uniform passive activates when the 3rd skill is used. It gives her super armor and another 5% damage decrease, or basic defense, I'm sorry, of 5% for 7 seconds on a 1-second cooldown. So that's really nothing to speak of. But the super armor is nice. So like I said, they could give her some meta abilities if they want to take her the PvP direction and give her something like an iframe ignore skill or something like that. Sky's pretty much the limit, but she does hold it down solidly as a support type as it stands, and that tier 3 will just give us access at another one of those. Moving right along to Ironheart, this character basically needs everything. About the only thing that she does have is stun on her 4 of 3 seconds and 100% damage immunity on her 5th skill for 5 seconds on 15-second cooldown and a 13-second cooldown respectively. She also has a 16% dodge rate for 10 seconds on a 30-second cooldown, and it only has a 10% activation rate. They need to just get rid of that thing completely. And then she has a heal with increased skill damage and bonus damage, guaranteed dodge rate of 20% for 10 seconds on a 15-second cooldown. Once again, another one of those things they kind of just need to do away with. She does have the 45% energy attack lead, but this is her first uniform, so they can throw the kitchen sink at her if they want to. They can make her a lead / support. They can give her a little bit of DPS. Maybe stick her in something like World Boss or Alliance Battle, maybe even change her typing to speed, as the blast meta is very heavy, and that'll give her a little bit more room to compete. Moving right along to Namor, I see this guy pretty much staying a combat type. The Phoenix uniform did make him one of the best DPS in the game for his day. He does have the 24% crit rate leadership. He also has super armor on his 4-star passive. All defense of 25%, decreased damage received by 25%. And then on his tier 2 passive, he has super armor increase all basic defenses by 25%, decrease basic damage received by 25%. So he's got a lot of damage reduction in his kit already. Then on the second skill, he has a snare on an 8-second cooldown, nothing on the 3. He's got the 8-hit guard. He has the 8-hit guard on the 4, which really needs to be replaced with something like damage immunity or invincibility, along with a heal. One of the other things that this character does not have in his kit. And then all of the magic is basically on the 5th skill and that tier 2 passive. He's got the decrease fire damage by 30% for 4 seconds, a 3-second stun, which is also going to be useful for you in ABX. He's got the frenzy buff that applies to all allies of 55, 70, and 20% for attack, defense, and speed respectively. And then he applies the same buff again to himself. Increased fire resist by 30% for 10 seconds, along with the 55, 70, 20 frenzy buff again for 7 seconds. So for the first 3 seconds, he gets a massive jump in his damage when this thing goes up. And then on the tier 2 passive, he has the super crit with the critical damage of 25% and the increased guaranteed crit rate by 30%. And then I think his uniform passive gave him like a shield or something. Yeah, 30% shield for 5 seconds on a 10-second cooldown. About the only thing they can give this character. And let me show you his tier 3 skill right quick as well. And on his tier 3, he has the all defense down by 50%. He's got the 20% all speed reduction and the 40% resistance down for 3 seconds apiece that is applied to enemies. It applies to allies. He's got increased guaranteed crit rate by 50% for 3 seconds, ignore target dodge rate by 30% for 3 seconds, and a debuff removal for 3 seconds. And then he also additionally applies an 80% penetration to everything for 10 seconds, 10 seconds of invincibility, and of course the damage accumulation that's based on damage dealt, and it is 1%. So the DPS is nice. They really just need to crank the numbers a little bit, maybe move the accumulation somewhere where it's more useful, where you can keep it up longer. And then the other thing too is addressing his skill cooldowns. You got 20 seconds here, you got 10 seconds on the 4, you got 8 seconds here, you got 8 seconds here, but all of the magic being pretty much on the 5, on the tier 2 passive, and on the tier 3 skill really made him a rage character. It would be nice if they could tweak him just a little bit to make him more proc friendly, so we could maybe use him with a CTP of energy, maybe give him some guard break immunity as a uniform passive or something like that, since y'all are handing that out to everybody now. Just crank his damage up a little bit, and yeah, he should be right up there with the best of them. Really strong character. And then as far as M'Baku goes, they only need to do this.
Witness the might of the Jabari. First time.
And you see right here, we've had the model or M'Baku in the game, or like I said, since the Black Panther. We'll go ahead and check out his moves right quick and see what he already has in the game as far as his kit is concerned. You do have to do a little bit of damage to this guy first. I did play this thing a while back, and I thought I saw some things that weren't there after I went back and I checked some old footage from other content creators that were, because I wasn't making videos then. So yeah, okay, yeah, see, that's one of his attacks. Really dope, actually, for a character that's that old, and something that's actually seems like it could be cancelable. I don't know if there were actually plans. And then that little twirling attack that he does when he comes at you, it's also pretty nice. Another one of the things that I wanted to touch on too, Atuma is also in the movie. So it would be really nice if we could get him as part of the second part of this update. Long-time rival of Namor in the comics, so that would be absolute fire. Another thing that they could also do in the comics, another thing that they could also do as far as the second part of this update is give us the Black Panther uniform for Shuri. Of course, that's the whole reason why we think that there's gonna be a second part to this update. So that would be real dope. And the other thing they can do is maybe give us this outfit for M'Baku. That would be absolute fire. That is his traditional look in the comics. The whole man-ape thing. And also, along with Killmonger, getting a uniform for Black Panther, particularly the King of the Dead outfit, and make Black Panther good, man. Hashtag make Black Panther great in the comments if you agree with giving Black Panther the King of the Dead uniform. Y'all let us know what y'all think. Like, comment, share, subscribe, all that jazz. And we'll catch y'all in the next one, man. Peace.